Hi, my name is Shelley Stevens, and I'd like to share my story with you. I am actively against Common Core standards, EngageNY modules, and Inbloom Data Mining in New York State. I would like to read to you a testimony that I gave in front of legislators in December in Corning, New York. I feel it will best express my story and where we've been and where we're going. My testimony may be slightly different than those you have heard as of recently. I was not aware of any changes in the Alfred Almond School District or any other until this year. The second week of September, my 6-year-old came home from first grade and told me that she had failed the test. I laughed and said, "You're 6. Do you even know what that word means?" She put her head down and said, "Yes, Mommy, it means I did really, really bad. I'm sorry I didn't know how to do it." In that moment, I became extremely concerned. You see, we don't use the word failed in our house. In our house live 2 extremely successful adults. We would not have been successful if we believed in failure, but rather in taking risks and doing the best job that we could every single day. Since then, I have researched all that encompasses Common Core, every day since that sad afternoon. I feel that my testimony will be most useful if I share with you my story. Straight out of high school in 2001, I became a saleswoman for over 13 years. I have a bachelor's in multimedia web design, a master's in business administration. I have managed all aspects of one of the largest Verizon wireless stores in upstate New York. And I started a woman minority-owned construction business, not knowing how to physically do the work myself, but rather knowing how a business should and must be run to be successful. This year, we are celebrating its 5th year in business. I am a 2001 Arkport Central School graduate, pre-Common Core. I was college and career ready without the Common Core standards or the EngageNY modules. And just to be clear, I was not the only college and career ready individual in my class, as each and every student graduated and went on to college or a career. Members of my class include doctors, lawyers, business owners, members of the armed forces, and even one United States Marshal. Yet I hear over and over again how children graduating are not college and career ready, and it makes me almost physically ill that our Commissioner of Education has little to say besides that. It is the reason for turning our schools, teachers, and children upside down this year. I stand before you tonight having all of those accomplishments that I have worked diligently for, making my way with a baby on my hip, helping to teach a 4-year-old how to write her name, and a 6-year-old how to read. As a female in this unforgiving corporate-bought world, I would not have gotten where I am without a solid foundation in education, teachers that loved me, and yes, I use the word loved, and inspired me to be the best I could be, instilling in me a love of learning. But where is that inspiration and love of learning this year? Common Core does not appear to allow for personality, creativity, nor individualism. I have regularly attended Board of Education meetings in my children's school district, Alfred Almond, as well as my alma mater, Arkport Central, and neighboring Hornell City School District. I have repeatedly asked over and over for these districts to ignore the modules, cancel the tests, and give back the race to the top funds. Not one single one of these schools will, and not because they think Common Core is right for my children or anyone else's, but because they would, quote, all lose their jobs, the state would pull back millions of dollars worth of funding, and the school would be shut down, end quote. When I ask for proof that such action will take place, no one can provide it. However, out of fear, continue to respond the same way meeting after meeting, and I wonder to myself if the New York State Department of Education isn't pulling the biggest bullying scheme on the largest scale of my lifetime at our children's expense nonetheless. So I leave with you one last statement that I wrote in a moment of passion. Regarding Common Core, I'm not upset about not understanding what my kids are bringing home. I'm upset that the only two educators involved in the creation of these standards rejected them in a validation committee. I'm upset that it was privately funded through lobbyist groups in DC. I'm upset that this was not voted on in New York State. I'm upset that the reading requirements include pornography, molestation, pedophilia, and degrading of the United States military. I'm upset that the United States children are learning Singapore math with no evidence of its success. I'm upset that over 400 points of data is being collected on my minor children and my family and fed to the state as they see fit. I'm upset that most public school teachers have a gag order on them to not be able to speak up without fear of losing their jobs. I'm upset that 70% of kids failed Common Core testing last year. I'm upset that those failures hurt our teachers in their evaluations and have at their risk of their jobs. I'm upset that our school districts will not be able to afford this new curriculum, and neither will the taxpayers in our district. I've done my research, and I want Common Core standards, EngageNY modules, and Inbloom Data Mining all to stop. And if anything, I hope this message convinces you to join in the fight for your kids' education and our future of this country. Again, my name is Shelley Stevens, and I appreciate your time. Thank you.